Hello, and welcome to another recording of TTS Presents It's Not Reality Bites. It's the Vampire Lestat, Episode 4, The Devil's Road, featuring the songs Plastic Fiends, Nothing to Lose, and Big Boss. Narratives of Album 33, Side B, Album 37, Side A, and 40, Side B. Now, though this episode is titled The Devil's Road, I'd argue that in much of the same spirit of one of our favorite series, Lost, Season 1's Episode 11, titled All Good Cowboys Have Daddy Issues, that we shall forever nickname this episode All Good Vampires Have Abandonment Issues. Because boy, oh boy, are they all crying the big abandonment tears. So now, on this little road of Le Diable are my best travel mates, David, Christy, and Brian. And first, I would like to ask, where do all of you rank this episode? Where are we at? What do you think? Somebody step in.
I am not a fair judge here because I am such a homer with this show now. I can't even. But I watched it twice only, and I'm saying it's probably like an 8-7.
All right. Okay. David, what you think?
Well, I have been enduring intense conversation with myself. And as part of this journey, I wish to read you something I have written from the deepest. Oh, that was hilarious. It was very, very good. Good episode.
You liked it better than last week?
Yes.
Okay.
This was my second favorite episode of the season.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear.
I like that.
What's the first one, Brian?
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to hear why you guys rate this one. Like what specifically in it hit for you. So
well, I'm a sucker for a diss track, so
no. We'll get there.
Well, what we do know, okay, for starters, is that all rockers sing about the road. In fact, many, many rockers were mentioned in this episode. And Brian, I'm assuming that you may have kept tally to a few of those.
Well, we had Bob Seger mentioned for Turn the Page, Jackson Brown for The Loadout, Bon Jovi is mentioned. There's a mention of Charlie XCX, of him being in his brat phase. And later, unless you live under a rock, there's a mention of Perry, Shaw, and Kane taking the midnight train, which is a reference to Journey, Steve Perry,
Neil Sean,
and Jonathan Kane, the keyboard player, the three essential members of Journey. Dee and Joey mentioning of the Ramones. So we had a pretty good mix of music mentions in this. So
yeah,
he dogs out. Oh gosh, it was just something. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like that there's some room here that if I actually have a moment to breathe in the next week, I have some interest in taking all of these references and putting it together for a single episode soundtrack.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will in my off time. But now I have another question.
Sambora.
Guys.
He takes Sambora.
Sambora, yes.
That's what it was. I was like, he disses somebody.
Well, he disses Sambora in favor of Phil X, the later guitar player for Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
There, I said it, so you don't have to.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, Lestat seems to be pretty knowledgeable about music.
He knows all the things, right? He has been around for a hot minute. He's a big fan. So
he has a good taste, yeah.
A pretty decent taste. Okay, next question. This is a really important question, guys. This might be the most important question we ask in the entire season. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Is it Worcester or Worcester?
Ridiculous.
Worcester.
It's ridiculous.
It's Worcester.
This was like
there seems to be a lot of debate.
Wasn't there a viral meme or something at one point that was about Worcestershire? Worcestershire. And it was like they were kind of nodding to that. So that's for you, youths.
There it is. Now it's in your hands.
The youths.
All right. Well, Vampire Lestat's tour may feed on bots and abandonment, but Armand's tour, guys, it feeds on apology, courtesy of the 12 steps, and his first stop is Daniel. First of all, how entirely fatherly fitting is it to have this interaction take place at a bowling alley? And I gotta say that Daniel's response, going full throttle in a fury that may have many abandoned children covered in envy.
Ooh, it was good.
It was a great Daniel moment.
Now, speaking of the bowling alley, has anyone else noticed in the opening where they do the little homage to the Big Lebowski with the bowling ball rolling down and the vampire in neon?
Yes, and
So I gotta think we got some Big Lebowski fans.
Well, we
on the
wondered
writing
how
team.
we knew we'd see bowling because of that. Like, oh, bowling playing into this, but I thought it would be more than just Daniel bowling. But they had said bowling or something in one of the after shows too, and so apparently Daniel really likes the bowling. And if you know what, here's what it is. He was an old man.
It just feels like that
now,
tracks.
Now he's just got this like young bodies now, and he's like, I'm gonna go bowl and see if I still got it. You know, my shoulder's not gonna hurt.
300, man.
My wrist, my elbow, everything's good. He's going bowling, and he was killing it.
He was doing so well.
And he sucks himself up with the name of reporters when he throws.
Pulitzer winners.
Yeah.
Pulitzer winners.
Yes.
That's what that was.
There was a lot to that scene. There's a lot to Daniel in this episode, honestly, but I thought that was great. And I mean what I say. I think that there's a lot of people who are viewers of this show that have their own version of abandonment. And how nice would it be just to throw that big middle finger when someone tries to make amends?
I think it also gives us a better filter for last episode when we're like, why is Daniel getting kind of a-holy with Lestat? I think it's because Armand's not talking to him, so he's kind of leaning on Lestat, but Lestat's not giving him anything either, kind of.
Yeah.
So maybe he takes it out on Lestat a little bit. But yeah, he's going through it, and I guess he looked like he had it all together. He looked like he was having his best life. Got to have a big brawl in a hotel, trashed that play. I mean, but no, underneath, he's broken.
It's a sad man down in there, down in deep. So, okay, next in this apology tour, we're going to take a quick stop to the showers. And Armand appears to Lestat on the bus. And of course, as Lestat would do, he is mocked. But he's mocked while watching from the best seat in the house. Like, honestly. And, he pleads with Lestat to stop the music, stop the revealing. Lestat says, chill, bro. There's only 5 episodes, or there's only 5 shows left. And I'm getting kind of bored with it anyway.
As I do.
As I do, yeah. When you're good at everything,
Yeah, it's just a little bit of, distraction, and then back to the races on the new thing.
And the internal, like all the mind games, like we saw last episode, his whole, there's not enough room in this box for your desperation. And you see how he treats Armand. He's so he's so dismissive, but he also plays with him too, because he gets butt naked right there and takes a blood shower. But vampires don't have to really take showers. They're like impermeable to like dirt and stuff. They can kind of like just brush themselves off.
They're like Scotch Guard.
That was not, and if they were to take a shower, it wouldn't have to be blood. That was purely, it was like almost like he had that button installed just for like, one of these days, I'm going to need this to really intimidate someone. And that's what it was, I think. And with it, and right at that time,
he was trying to intimidate him.
Like he was mind effing him big time.
Oh, I thought he was like, hey, look at this, you're not getting a piece of this. And by the way, I'm going to cover it with blood too, and you're still not getting a piece.
And well, it's that, and it's look how much better I am than you, and all the he's just like he's the head guy, even though he was maitre. Like Lestat's the boss, right? Always. But yeah, that was really right when he pulls his pants. Right, that's the moment that Armand is thanking him for the large endowment.
And you notice he looked down.
Yes,
he looked down. So it was perfect.
The writing on this, because the words and what's going on, it's just so funny. There's so many layers.
Yeah, I really thought something interesting in this, because we get very brief moments of him talking to Armand. I feel like this might be the longest just the two of them that we've seen on screen together, like really have a conversation of some sort. And it makes me think of the story, the version of Louis' story that we get, that we hear. And it's like interesting because the way that Lestat is talking to Armand is almost the way they show him talking to Louis in the bad days. And it feels very like, oh, Armand had his finger on that. You know, like there was some interjecting there. Because you can't trust anything that happens when you're around him, because he's like, oh, well, I'm going to manipulate this in my favor.
Right.
He always does. So
He always does.
It felt very familiar to the bad days with Louis, and just the way.
That makes me think of. I had a question.
Mhm.
So when we cut to Daniel and Armand talking, and just the two of them, so we don't
on the
have
street, that second conversation
on the street and the bowling alley,
Oh, okay.
anywhere, when Lestat is not there, is
Mhm.
that, are we to take that as truthful, objective,
Ooh.
the camera's being objective, or is that being told from Daniel's point of view, or is that being told from Lestat recounting something Daniel or
Had told
Armand has
him.
told him? How do
You know
you all
what?
take the scenes when Lestat's not, or Louis, when neither one of them are present, so there's no, narrator to recount
Well, they
it?
sort of dropped the narrating in those scenes. They were doing that early on, and
Just the Lestat, he narrates his own story all the time. So you think that those are all just separately happening from different, like, it's not
Well,
Lestat's
I
stuff?
take those. I take those to be, we can count on those scenes that those are accurate. I don't think there's any
Because we're seeing them in real
bias.
time, and
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like if we were seeing it through Lestat's retelling, he would do like he did at the restaurant when Talamasca reached out to Louis. Like it
Yes.
was like, well, I wasn't there, but this is how I am.
But this is how, this is how I want to think it happened.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right,
So
so
I think
the ones he's
it is truthful
narrating
from our version anyway.
are from his
Well,
point of view.
You
Maybe.
know what though? Honestly, we don't really know. But until we know something different, I would tend to agree with you guys that we have to have
But-
some footing. Please give us a foot
Yeah.
in reality. What is really
Something
Well,
happening.
if
that's real.
any of the listeners have an opinion, please feel free to share.
Yeah.
But I just had the thought, like in the bowling alley where he's talking about his daddy issues,
Mhm.
that's not something I don't think Daniel would share with Lestat, because Lestat would
No.
use that against him. That would be the kind of thing
Absolutely.
that Lestat would use later in an argument. And later when they're talking about the great conversion and Armand's kind of warning Daniel, like, I think those scenes are largely just for the viewer, so it's a way to give us information in a way that's not jaded by the Lestat perspective.
Yeah, I agree. And it sets a path forward to the plot line that's moving ahead.
Yes.
The only thing I would say about that is that at the beginning of the season, we see we're already in the future at the auction, and he's going back and we're hearing the
Past
albums.
tense of it. Yeah.
So could this just be everyone's recollection of what they were kind of doing at the moment as it's kind of like building up to this, the great conversion? Do you know what I mean? Where we're just kind of like, it's giving us, like afterwards, they're all taking notes like, well, where were you? Well, I heard about it here. And this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing. Kind of
Well,
thing.
one
After
could
the fact.
argue that the point of view that we're seeing from isn't Lestat and it isn't Daniel, because in the future we know that Daniel's not going to give us a story about the past, but it could be Armand. It could be his version.
But isn't the whole premise of the episode that we're supposed to be listening to the failures, which would be Lestat's narration? Even if he would be
even if
telling
he
these
included
scenes,
stuff in it.
I don't know.
No, it's an
I just
interesting
thought it
question.
was an interesting question.
Oh, it
It's
is
a
a fair
box within a
question.
box. Yeah,
In the
box within a box.
In the books, they do shift to a it is told from Lestat's point of view, that second book, but because this is a melding of like books 2 and 3, I think they're just going to meld it all together. In the third book, it is a lot of like kind of catching up with where these, so you as the reader kind of know where everybody is as things start to like, get hectic
Everyone
and
gets
crazy.
their
Yeah.
own chapter here.
Yeah,
and
so
there.
I'm wondering if that's for us, so that when things start to go cuckoo, we'll be like, "Where's so and so? They were at this place, or this is what they're up to."
Keeping
Or I
tabs
don't
of
know.
our players.
Maybe.
as it
Yeah,
were.
we need
Okay.
to know
Well,
where our chess
Before we
pieces
move
are.
on, can I do a couple of housekeeping things?
yeah, absolutely. Let's
Sure.
do it.
Just things I noticed, like the record label that the manager's talking about, Four Body, not a real record
Yes.
label. If you look it
No,
up, not
Right.
real.
And was it FOR body? Or
Yeah,
FORE?
FORE body is how I took it. Also, interesting tidbit.
But what? But
This
wait.
episode's called The Devil's Road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Devil's Road was a documentary about Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are the
Oh,
couple from The Conjuring.
yes.
That's the
It's
documentary that
also
brought them to prominence.
it's also the Devil's Row is straight from the book, though. That's Daniel and Armand's love affair.
Well, yes, but maybe even when she wrote the book, that may have been in existence. I don't know, but I think it's
I'm
interesting that
assuming that if we look at it, the time she was writing the book
Yeah.
kind of was about the
She
same
could have heard
time as
that.
that,
Yeah,
isn't
she
it?
could have heard
So,
that and gone, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Fun. I like it.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder that for body, because for means like before, right?
Before.
For
Mhm.
your body before. I wonder if there's a little sneaky hint in that name of that record company.
maybe.
You know, they're pretty smart when they're writing this thing. I'm just saying.
Maybe. And my final bit of housekeeping, no matter how bad a guy Armand is, Daniel can't really blame Armand for it following Fish for a year, okay, or listening to Fish for a
How is
year.
that Daniel's fault?
Sorry, Daniel, that's on you, buddy. Armand
That's
didn't
drugs,
make you
dude.
Some
listen.
of us just make bad choices.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Anytime Fish gets to be used as like a slam, I'm in for it.
It's interesting though to see from David's point of view. I mean, Daniel's point of view is now he really is questioning every single thing in his life since. I mean, not that he was in a good way in San Francisco. I mean, he was using drugs too much, but he has to think of every other thing after that, because both of them had messed with his brain.
Well, I was going to ask you,
Torture,
Christy.
messing with his brain. Yeah.
I don't know how much of this is in the book, but I think that's why I like this episode, because Daniel's already on the back foot after the end of the last episode. And then Armand shows up and he just really goes through it. And part of what I liked is the last episode, I think, had too much of that. This episode had all the ingredients in right proportion for me, which is why I think I liked it better and why for me it worked.
It balanced.
Because you understand now.
It. Yeah.
You understand what's feeding the frustration, anger part of it. It's that he's feeling some other feelings that, a big, strong guy can't feel those feelings. So he's going to be mad. And so that's what he's doing. I think that, yeah, that's probably.
And even more than
Daniel.
mad, because honestly, Daniel's not somebody he's not somebody that falls into the trope of being angry. He's annoyed. He's aloof. He's, he doesn't get mad.
And
everyone else is stupid.
And I mean, he spent what they say 20 days or whatever when they were doing the interview thing in an apartment with multiple vampires.
Mm-hmm.
He usually even then he seemed like he was in control. He didn't really freak out or anything. So he's usually in control of those situations. And I think that just right now he feels like.
Which, hey, you know what?
What is
up,
happening?
Daniel, because you were in this apartment with all these different vampires as a human. You fared way better than our pal Nikki did. I'm just saying.
That's for sure. And
good job.
And so, yeah, I mean, he's kind of like that whole thing where everything really does freeze. That would be a little weird.
Yeah, well, let's get to that. Let's walk into those scenes because those are coming up, and then we can extend what we're speaking about now. So later on that evening on stage, Lestat outs Armand essentially and taunts him with the dedication of Big Boss. He plays it like a sick burn, and Armand flees the venue, and then Daniel follows. And that is when the world goes silent and the people disappear. And as it turns out, this is not something that Armand does to Daniel, but rather it's a genetic hand-me-down that Daniel inherits, and now we switch in where the devil's minion comes into play. And this is where I wanted to open the door for Christy, because I know this is a whole other pathway to another part of this story.
Yeah, I mean, in the books, he kind of like tortures and stuff, like, does things to him, but more akin to like, but before he's a vampire, he kind of toys with him for quite a while, like makes him his little toy. But that's because he's already met Louis, he's already met Lestat, and Armand loves Lestat's cast-offs. If Lestat knew somebody, and
he's the bridesmaid, that Armand.
Like, Armand is gonna go in there and scoop that person up.
Mm-hmm.
Because they must be good if Lestat liked them or something. It's very weird.
People like that in real life, and they're just like really.
Armand is really just he's obsessed with Lestat.
And it's interesting, right? Because Armand tells Daniel that all of this was done in some version or name of love or something.
No, he says it's love.
What?
And he goes,
and now I get it. I get it. I've read the showrunner's notes, that they've talked about this a little bit, where it's like, no, it makes sense. Go back to Dubai, watch the very long, like, eye contact moments. This is in the book. I can buy this. I just don't entirely feel it
unless we're going to get some other scenes that we still haven't seen. Maybe there's still stuff that he doesn't remember from San Francisco that Armand remembers.
I can 100% see Daniel going, I'm obsessed. I love, whatever the attachment is to this creature.
If he had
I don't see it
blonde spot on one of his eyebrows, I could see where maybe it just doesn't seem like Armand would be somebody that Daniel would be interested in.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. I guess this is what we get when we like take the age and we switch the age for the story and so on, and maybe it kind of blocks us from actually buying into something.
Armand is like in the books. Armand is like, he's very old, but he was turned when he was like 15, 16. And then Daniel's turned like in his early 20s. So they're much closer. They're like two youths out there running around causing a ruckus. But Armand always needs someone to help him endure in the current time, because he gets, he's been around a long time and he was really out of it.
Just loves love. Okay. He loves being in love.
No, I took that line when he said I did it for love, but not for Louis. Not love for Louis. I thought he was referencing Lestat.
See, I thought was telling
that's
Daniel
what he was saying.
Yeah, I think psychologically that's probably what he means, but I think we're supposed to know that it means Daniel.
Right? Daniel thought he meant him, right?
Yeah. But also, do you believe, I kind of liked having this moment. I did. For the first time, I actually did myself believe Armand when he's like, yeah, that happens to me too. I don't know what it is.
When he's like, get out of my head. I'm your maker. I can't get in your head anymore.
Yes.
Which is like, I can't believe Daniel's so smart, so sharp. How did he not figure that out? Like, he can't mess with my brain anymore because now we're too close in blood.
So I did like that, because
he doesn't know what other powers he has.
And
right, there could be gifts Daniel doesn't even know about.
Yeah, that's true. But what we do know is that in this story, the law is you can't get into your fledgling. You can't get into their brain. So that actually leaves Daniel in a very unique position, because Armand hasn't made other fledglings. He's the one person that can actually be free from that
he can be himself
technique. Yeah. So, hey, okay. Maybe that would make Armand love him more.
Maybe. Because he can be whoever he wants to be without him knowing what a little gremlin he is.
Yes. And realistically, anything that he gets back from Daniel might feel more real. Like, it's like, the old trope of like taking a love potion and then the love potion wearing off and finding out the person doesn't love you after all. It was just a potion.
Well,
and
I
in
think
this
that's
case,
another.
it's Daniel.
That's another reason that I don't believe this is being told from Lestat's point of view,
Because it'd be
because
more.
because I think the way he talks about Armand at almost every opportunity is so negative that I thought like this episode is maybe the most sympathetic Armand has ever come off in the show. Like ever. Like
Oh,
So you
I
completely
would
trust
agree.
it.
that's a
would
really
agree.
interesting perspective, Brian, because I thought he was almost looked pathetic.
Oh,
well, I
yeah,
mean,
he's
that's what I mean.
super sad,
Yeah.
Olive Brown.
Like I don't think
Right.
he didn't come across as like scheming or evil or a mastermind. He came across as like this guy who just was struggling with everything and not knowing what to do, what to say. And had gotten so desperate, he actually went to, I mean, the 12 step, we thought, which he does have his hooks in Alex. We'll talk about that. But,
Yeah.
Yes.
but like he did actually take something from the 12 step group and goes around all these people from his life and is saying stuff.
Okay.
But even that felt kind of phony. It felt
Okay,
like he was,
I think Brian thinks
Yeah.
Armand told the truth then, right?
He's a vampire
Okay.
truther.
he's
an
an
Armand
he's
truther.
truther. Oh
Okay,
man.
I, on the other
There's
hand,
one in every group.
I'm just very suspicious. I'm just suspicious of Armand, and I don't know that I believe any of it. I think he was at that AA meeting to meet Alex because he was watching Alex because he's probably freaking going flying behind the bus, following them everywhere.
He wants to be a band-aid. Is that what you're telling me? He's a band-aid reject.
And then when they stopped and Alex got off and walked away, he followed Alex. Just went where Alex went. Alex was into an AA meeting eventually. He goes in there too. He sits down. He knows what it is. He's not stupid. And he's like, okay, well, I could get in with him. So he starts with this, my name is Arun. Because he's a liar. It's not Arun. He doesn't even
But
use
isn't that
real
his
name.
human name?
Yeah, but he thinks. I think he thinks it is.
Listen, Armand.
But everyone knows he's Armand. And then the way he like, I think he would use the 12 steps. He would listen to it and then go, how can I use this to just really get back in with those guys? Hey, I can use this. I can tell them.
How can I slide back into their DMs?
Yeah, how can I make them? I want them to understand that I'm very sorry and I miss them and I want to, he's just.
But isn't that really more pathetic than anything else?
It's very pathetic.
See,
it's pathetic, but it's not earnest.
The imagery of Armand that I have always had is like in the movies, there's like the assistant or the squire or whatever. There's always this person that is lower in rank than the other person.
Thrones.
And at some point they become almost, Armand's not quite sniveling, but he's almost sniveling. But the problem is when that hand goes up to be kissed, the other hand is grabbing a pile of sand. And someone's going to get sand thrown in their eyes. And I feel like that's what Armand does. Like, oh my gosh, you're right. Oh my gosh, my mistake. You're everything. But I don't think that he necessarily does it knowing that he is this manipulator. I think in his mind, he believes himself. And that's the biggest sin that he has, is that he always believes himself.
Okay, here it
he's
is.
One of those people who thinks he's the victim all the time.
No, let's put it on the line. Let's say what it is.
Okay.
And this is probably what triggers Armand in me and why I feel this way about him.
Oh, okay.
Of all the vampires that we see, Armand is like the codependent vampire.
100%.
And there may have been a time in my life where like the female equivalent of Armand was drawn to me like a moth to flame. Okay, so
and messing with your head, making everybody else disappear.
In the figurative tour bus of my life, they were trailing along, waiting.
I get
it. But like I think when I say he's sympathetic, I don't mean like I'm rooting for him. It's like a real sort of like dark goth. Tween mean girl in him that will come out.
There's a human quality to all of it.
But this is like he does not seem menacing. He does not seem he and David said it best. The thing I was looking for is he's almost like so pathetic that he's doing, you know what he's doing? And we all know this. What's the least attractive what quality in people when they try too hard? And
Yes.
he's
Yes.
trying too hard.
Absolutely. Well, so I wonder if part of his thing is that he's a much older vampire and much stronger than lots of the vampires that they're running into, right? The ones that he's afraid that Lestat's making them mad. But yet he never uses that strength. You know what I mean? So I wonder if at some point we're going to see him just and we'll be like, oh, hello. You know?
Yeah,
because
there we
he's
go.
so unassuming, so small, so
well,
pathetic.
The idea is historically, whenever we in literature, historically, we see that when there is a character who is consistently trying to join them and isn't allowed, then the join them stops and the against them begins.
Because he's so, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me.
He's a pick me.
He's a pick me. Okay. But in the
poor
books,
Armand.
I have to tell you guys, in the books, Armand was one of my favorite characters when I read him because it's such a tragic tale of his youth, right? That his parents, in the book, he's from like a Eastern European Russia area, and he's painting those like the devotional paintings that you've seen that look like, oh, that's absolutely Eastern Orthodox Russian art, like you would see it a million times. And then he gets kidnapped from the monastery that he's painting at, and then they sell him into slavery, and then a vampire buys him and takes him to a school in Venice to learn how to be, because he already had painting skills, how to be a great master, like in his art school. And so and he's turned so young, and
so David, he is kind of like Varys.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes. So I was really.
I was thinking Littlefinger might have been a more apt.
No, I think Varys is
Varys got to be
accurate.
kind of real powerful right before he wasn't.
Well, it's a very sad tale over and over again in reality and in literature both. But it's the idea of a student who has some sort of talent being taken in and feeling like they're getting this massive opportunity, only to find out that they are being brought in for like darker purposes. And then being taken advantage of. And that's where it always felt like Armand's story kind of started from that.
See, and I never got that because that was very popular. I mean, most of the Da Vinci paintings were not solely painted by Da Vinci. They were painted in his school with his students. So that was very common. And because of an incident that happens, his maker and him are separated. Like, they're very much in love. They get separated. Each one thinks the other one has perished. And until this point in the book, they still haven't been reunited since like the 1600s. So we'll see that at some point, and that'll be pretty awesome. Well, so anyway, he was always one of my favorites. He's a sweet character.
Reuniting, we need to take a quick break, but we'll reunite with you in about 5 seconds our time, probably about a minute and a half your time. So give us 5 seconds. We'll be right back. Okay, it feels like it's been ages since we all.
But that was a good break. We needed that break. I feel better now.
We're going to talk more about the diss track, right? We can't just yada yada past the diss track.
Oh yeah, because we have to talk about the concert. Sure, but that's more rock and roll story.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you would like to, we can cover the stage right now. Let's jump into that. So so we get the song, we get the outing of Armand.
But this is the song that Salamander's very excited about to come bring to him.
Right. It's supposed to be about Lestat.
It's supposed to be about Lestat, and Lestat hears it. And did you think that little meeting of the minds there about that Lestat was very like receptive to what they were saying. And then he was
kind of like, well, if we did it this way, it could be actually okay.
And then they were like, oh my God, that's even better. Like they were
talking about the key change. And then I love when she hits him and she's like, that's so fucking cute or adorable.
Because he was like, because that keychain would be like ponytail flip every time.
Well, this is where like he started like they actually talked music theory for a second to show like they're really in a band and use the numbering system of the chords. I think he says like 1, 7, 4, 2 or something is the chord
And
sequence.
in the books, you don't get this. You don't see this kind of collaboration. It feels very much like it's Lestat's band. It's Lestat's music. It's his lyrics. It's,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
They're
But
kind of
here-
like minions more than anything, right?
Right. I mean, he cares for them, but like pets, right? Because they're just humans
Yes.
that he cares
Yes.
for. But here it's like they're really like, and who knew Salamander was going to come up with something? Good on you,
Good job.
Salamander.
And the good thing for Lestat is he didn't forget what any of the numbers were for.
Yeah.
He remembered
There
all
we
5
go.
of them.
He got them all. I mean, I feel like the tour bus moments, and there's one that we had at the beginning of this episode that was very fun. It felt like a cold open, kind of like just a nice little tasty snack, with Delilah, with little sweet Delilah, and her officer getting made over,
Oh my gosh. Wasn't that
getting
fantastic?
the cocaine makeover.
Because the second he stops the bus and comes aboard, everybody's right before they stop, before they even let him on, while they're
Dumping
all
their
freaking out.
drugs.
Salamander's got that. He's like,
Just
can I
pours
use this
it.
much? Can I use this much? Like, dude, probably not. But and they're like pushing the. Okay,
Maybe
that's a
that's
bus.
what got
That
him
is
to
not
writing
getting
the
flushed,
song.
y'all.
That could have
That's
been it.
just, if they wanted to get it, they could still get it. You don't flush it. I mean, so they're
It's
all
still
freaking
on the
out.
bus.
They're just freaking out, which is so funny because Lestat's perfectly calm. Why? Because Lestat knows there's no issue. He's just going to Svengali this guy and they'll be fine. But I'm
It
just
was
saying
cute.
it pays
It
to
was-
have a vampire in the band who can alter memories and mind control people.
Sometimes you gotta take the wins. I do
Dude,
like on
I just
stage,
wanted one of them to
though,
go, man, we dumped those drugs for
for
nothing.
nothing. For nothing. I'm telling you, it's because Salamander ate all those drugs that he was able to write the song. It all comes together.
Probably.
It was the inspo. Now,
When he says,
on stage,
we are musicians. We are
Now,
musicians,
Jamie,
and we need these drugs to do our
to
job.
our jobs.
Jamie, Ian Mackay is going to be mad that you had to suggest that you take drugs to have to write music. You
Listen.
don't have to do that, Jamie.
Listen,
Some people
Mr.
might.
Salamander might.
Salamander needs to take the drugs to do about anything, like to get a good grocery list. I'm pretty sure he has to do the drugs at this point. So, okay, let's go back to stage because
Sorry.
when we are in the process of Armand being outed, we get a swivel view over to Alex, who's like, "Wait a minute,
Because they've been reading the book.
you're who?"
Yeah. They're like,
What?
Armand. Because remember, everywhere they've gone, everyone's like, oh, Armand. Oh, they were. Do you know Armand? When they find out he's the vampire Lestat from the book. That's the
Listen,
first
poor
thing ask them.
Alex. The amount of crap Alex has to put himself through, I'll tell you what.
Ugh.
Okay, now let's shift over a little bit away from Armand, and let's go in throughout the episode. We've got Lestat. And guess what he's doing? Searching for Gabriella and texting her because she's a no-show. She disappeared into the night, as she does. Again, his fledgling has left him. And though it seems this time she really may have left with a purpose greater than her own boredom, we see Lestat go through the throes of this, but we also get some more backstory and some more memories of Lestat and her and their journey as it began. We also get a poke at the moment in the books the fans were waiting for, which is the first abandonment, when he wakes up on the beach and she is not there. But while Gabrielle is out on duty, Lestat is going through his abandonment 101 and struggling with the reality that his mother does not seem to need him in the way that he needs her. And through all of this unrest and all of this that is curling in and being thrown at Lestat, it's coming from vampires and humans alike. They're in a crowd. There's a shooting. Lestat is able to protect himself, but it leads to a near-death experience for his manager, Christy Clare, and ultimately the breaking of the band. And just when they got Alex back, rats! Dang it anyway.
Did you not think Lestat's first reaction would be like to rip the man's arm off? I mean, he didn't retaliate at all.
I thought it was so
human-like.
it was so human in the moment where he put his hand up
Mm-hmm.
to protect himself. Yeah, that was interesting because he did not
Him on the
rely
bus
his
afterwards,
vampire
just like
self.
checking his hand out.
Well, she's in the back screaming.
Okay, the funny thing about that is in about book 12, maybe, Lestat literally goes on like a 3 or 4 page tirade about how he wants to be adored, he wants to be a saint, he wants to be people to worship him. And he's sitting there looking at his, kind of like
His
stigmata.
stigmata.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But it made me laugh. I think that was a throw out for us that he got shot in the hand. But that's the guy at the beginning of the first episode that he told him to go get friends.
Yep.
Homeboy did not get friends. He decided to go home, write a manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think he wanted to kill Lestat, or he was just trying to prove to
No,
people
he was proving
that
he couldn't kill Lestat.
but he never thought like, hey, but I might accidentally kill someone else and I'll be in trouble.
I think he was way past caring at that point, man. He was
Yeah.
like, whatever. I need everyone to know the truth. I need them to know the truth. It was probably an obsession.
The basement, there's no basement in the pizza shop. I'm sorry.
If you ever have if there's ever an idea in your head and you say, I'm gonna write something, and it's not a book, a poem, if the word that pops in your head is manifesto, please
Yeah.
seek help immediately.
Stop. What you doing?
I think
Stop.
manifestos get a bad rap. I think
Name a good manifesto.
Oh my God,
in
Chrissy, are you
history.
gonna be the manifesto truther? Really?
I just think we should take it back from those crazies. I mean, we all need to maybe write a manifesto on why
I'm taking it.
Why the hell
Taking
can't
it.
anyone put their goddamn dishes in the in the dishwasher?
But
would be a good
using
manifesto.
the word manifesto is
mother
like
manifesto.
using an assassin's middle name. It's like for
Yes,
whatever
yes.
reason he's not John
Why do
Booth,
they
he's
always-
John Wilkes Booth.
That
Harvey
middle name
Oswald.
means something. Yes,
Is that what their friends
absolutely.
call them? I don't know. Not to be
Well, okay.
a different Lee
so-
Oswald. We didn't want to get him confused with anybody else. That other one.
In all
So
of that
weird.
chaotic energy
Lee John
that's
Oswald, who was
swirling around,
totally innocent.
what is Lestat's middle name? Does he have a middle name? Is that that's probably not a thing from those times?
I don't. You know
I
what?
don't know if there
Probably
was a lot of
not.
middle naming.
He'd been well. A lot of the naming is like your father's name, then your
Yeah,
mother's
he might have had
name,
his mother's middle name as his middle name, or his mother's
which we now
last name
know
as
is
his middle name.
Betchy. So maybe
Mhm.
he would have been Lestat de l'Encore Betchy, like a hyphen. I don't know.
What you guys think about that scene in the
Or Betchy
in
de
the
l'Encore.
little-
You're probably right.
in the pub slash? Well, I can't think of the word. What did you think about that scene
was
when they were
tavern.
counting
It was a
heartbeats?
tavern.
The tavern. Yeah, when they were counting all the heartbeats, I thought that was so cool. Like the upstairs.
It was almost like they were
downstairs.
flexing their abilities, because in the books they do kind of like have to practice at the beginning to get really good. Like when they start having a gift, they have to kind of like, they have to figure out how to like really tune into it. So it was like they were practicing, which was really great.
Okay,
And
so
when she says the two in the basement in the
In
flagrante
flagrante delicto.
delicto, and she looks at him like, "You want to go watch? Let's go."
let's go. Let's go check it out. Okay, so I asked Google what Lestat's middle name was. It told me his middle name was the
The
day. There we go.
The?
Now we know.
the
Yep. Okay, so in all of this chaotic stuff that's happening around Lestat, Gabriella does return shortly after. And she informs Lestat that the reason for her travels was because that she wanted to seek out the voices of those who are tired of enduring, those who would back Lestat, those who want to change. So, okay, Christy, I know you want to say some things, so I need you to say some things.
the voices. Okay, so as vampires, they can hear everybody who's not in their direct line. Like they can't hear their maker, they can't hear their fledglings, right? But they can usually, if they try and tune into it, they can hear other ones with more and more distant, it's quieter and quieter, right?
But they can hear their maker
So-
telepathically. They just can't have their thoughts monitored.
Nope, they
Because
can't hear
the maker, you called, I came, right? I mean, they're not doing that.
He was texting her.
Oh, so they can't call their fledglings
No,
telepathically?
Quite literally called.
I was like, yeah.
Okay, all right.
No, they cannot. Which is why it's so easy for them to get broke. Like that's why Armand and Marius have not reunited in 400 years. They can't find each other. Now, they get kind of smart if they can kind of hear other vampires that maybe the vampire they're looking for is with. Because when they were in San Francisco and Louis went out in the sun, Armand was able to call to Lestat. Louis could not. And he was like doing the translating, like playing telephone with them, right? It's kind of like that. So sometimes, anyway, there's voices all the time and you have to kind of like control them, blot them out, whatever. But this was so interesting because Lestat wants people to love him. He wants to be adored. He wants 1,000 followers, 1,000,000 followers. You know, it's not enough. But when all of these voices are out there looking for someone to lead them or give them hope or whatever, it's like he wants to do that, but he doesn't want to do that,
because
right? He's like
he doesn't want anything to do with the great conversion. He thinks it's stupid.
But I don't, at this point,
He doesn't want to be responsible.
I don't think Lestat knows that's happening yet. I don't think he's paying attention to it.
No, but he knows that's what she wants because
Yeah,
she says it flat out.
I think he kind of sees
She's
it as
always
like
wanted that
almost. Right. I think he kind of sees it as like an eye-rolling fad. Like every 100 years, somebody thinks they're going to
Somebody thinks it's like, well, it's like, have you ever known anybody who says, we're in the end times? Sure we are.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know?
I think that's where he is with it, really. So, yeah, he does get annoyed and she always pokes at him for it.
If Gabriella had not shown up, although he was having troubles before, right? He's written these songs. They're bringing up emotions. He's having memories that maybe he hasn't really confronted. He's trying to deal with all this. His mom comes back. She's all
He is knee-deep in
weird.
catharsis.
And
man.
we see again in this episode, does she love to have loud sex so he can hear her. It's a real weird kink. And I'm not a kink shamer, but I'm going to say, please, moms, don't have really loud sex so that your sons can hear you. That's gross.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I think that she knows it's cruel.
Don't do it.
I think that she knows it's cruel and she does it out of the cruelty of it because she is closer to Lestat than obviously anyone else in her family. And I do think she has genuine respect and does not believe that he is a cabbage.
But she tells him, I don't belong to anyone. I'm not a woman. I'm not a mother.
It's just
I'm not
a reminder.
Wife.
It's a cruel reminder.
And she's always been like that. When they were still mortal, she had told him about her fantasy of just being like having no rules. She wants zero boundaries after being confined her whole life to this like small existence, you know, when she wanted so much more. And now she can. So she's not going to go in any box. So the second something is, she probably shouldn't do it. She's probably going to do it. Lestat gets it from someone, is what I'm saying.
Yep, definitely, Mom. Now, while they're in the tour bus and she's kind of revealing to him, like, yeah, I actually wasn't dogging out on you, man. I'm pulling people towards you. The scene pans out, and I thought it was so beautiful because now on the tour bus, we didn't have the band. We had everybody Lestat has ever loved in that van with him.
His failures.
Including his childhood self. And everyone he feels like he's failed with. The idea that maybe they were on that bus with him the entire time, you know, and now there's Mom, and it sucks because for me, Gabrielle on her own as her own story and as her own person, I can see and appreciate. I mean, regardless of what my opinion is, I can see and appreciate her character. But her as a mother / fledgling or any sort of pull for Lestat, she grinds my gears.
And even in the books, it's not quite like this. He's disappointed that she goes off, but he seems to understand that that's her, and it's not it's not personal, man. This is just like sometimes people need a long time to go recharge their batteries. They're just not that social, you know. But she needs like 50 years to just fuck off to the jungle and you know what I mean. So. But in this, it's much more the way they're packaging all of this trauma together for him. It's much more painful for him.
And that's just it, because we see all these people that he's like, this, like you said, it's his failures, but it's all the people that he's ever loved
and let down.
The reason why he's failed them is because he learned from her. I hate it. I just don't. I just.
Well,
I hate that relationship.
I'll say this about her. I can't stand her, and I feel that the thing about this show is that this shows what happens to you when basically your mom is the Joker and wants to watch the world burn.
Just for the chaos.
Like,
yes.
she is just absolute chaos embodied, and trying to bring order to your life or have love reflected back at you from somebody
Yes.
like that. Like the best she's like, he's like, "Hey, I love you," and she's like Pawn Stars, you know, the meme. It's like, sorry, the best I can do is go talk to the vampires to get them to follow you.
Yeah.
You know,
But he likes the ones that withhold the affection, don't? Because look at Louis. Is Louis
he doesn't
his
like
mom?
it. That's how he
doesn't like it. He's trying to conquer
no,
them.
he's attracted to it. Whether it
Yes,
makes him crazy,
there you
but
go.
that's what he goes after.
Imagine that. He
yeah.
likes withholding people. Shocker.
Yeah. Exactly. There's
in the books,
look at all of this. Look at all of this we learn about humanity.
In the books, you are solidified in your body. It stays the same the second you're made. So if we were to go like, you just kind of want to make sure you like tidy yourself up, however you're going to be is how you're going to be for eternity. So if you want to shave those legs, you better get them legs shaved. I'm just saying. So but Gabriella, she was created still in her time, and she had the long hair. But you saw when he flipped the boat over,
wasn't the only long hair she had, apparently. Because she sent him a text saying she was getting a special service done.
Oh, she did. Yes, she did. So weird. So weird. But every night when she rises, she cuts her hair off, throws it in the fire, and then she goes about her way, just blending into people or whatever, living very androgynously.
Yes.
Androgynously.
Thank you. Androgynously. And very gender fluid. That's Gabriella. But every morning when every night when she wakes up again, rises, her hair has fully grown back again. And
which is why the hair was in the hole under the boat. But why did she leave the necklace?
Because that was her family heirloom.
Because she's no longer a vet.
She's just like, I'm leaving. I'm done with this.
She just has she tries to be what Lestat wants her to be when she's with him. So she usually will be more feminine, clearly. But really, she's like no one. She wants to be just blend and be no one and not be seen and not be with anyone. She like goes and lives with like tribes in like the Amazon and stuff.
A vampire has no name.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm just gonna peace out down
guys.
here. Yeah, I don't know what she does down there, but she really likes hanging out in the jungles. But
she loves the jungles. It's okay. Everybody's got their thing, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna jump and shift over to the other part of this episode, and that's for Louis.
Oh, Louis!
Okay.
Oh my gosh, the Louis of it.
So throughout the episode,
this was a big episode, guys.
It was. So throughout the episode, we have multiple scenes of Louis / Thomas Pitt visiting the Brick and Bacon, and he's coming to terms with a few things. So after slaying Killer, he may have recognized that he could never fill the hole in his heart that was left behind due to the death of Claudia, but maybe perhaps there's something else or someone else, and that would be Regina. There are multiple conversations between the two. Eventually, there is an understanding, as Regina does read interview, that Louis is there because of his daughter's death. And Regina, who is seemingly living a pretty hard life, requests $500,000 to become a Claudia stand-in. Okay, now, Chrissy, it seems like I feel like this episode probably has diverted from the direct storyline in the books more than about any episode we've seen
in
since
the
first
books.
season.
In the books, he keeps thinking he sees her ghost, and he becomes obsessed with the fact that she's a ghost in New Orleans, and so he tries to find. Eventually, he wants to find someone who could talk to the ghosts, so he could talk to her. So he doesn't actually run into a flesh and blood Claudia ish. So this is different. But the whole entire time I kept thinking, like, Louis, what is your end game here?
Well,
You're doing it again. You know what I mean? It's super like not cool for him to put all of that on her. She's just living her own life as it is, but it's her life, right? And the way he comes in and he's just like, just because she looks like someone, he can't deal with his own stuff enough, and now he's going to dump it on her. And when he tells her, "You seen this book?" Like, dude, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah.
None of it was fair.
I felt like it was like entrapment.
Well, he is the 466th most wealthy person in the world.
566.
Was it 566?
Because I thought it was weird that it was just 100
Google search on each other.
Okay.
How they both did a little background check.
No. What's the end game here? Unless, if you
I
introduce her to your world and you take care of her, are you going to turn her? Is that the promise?
Well, they clearly are doing something with the character. She's a vehicle for something that wasn't in the book.
Yes.
Or it's getting to a place the book
or
went
a replacement
to.
Of somebody.
Because here's an interesting thing. Regina is Latin, Romanian, or Italian for queen.
I told you that he's that last week.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Spanish. Yeah.
So the reality is he may be after her, but she may be there for a completely different reason.
I just feel like when Lestat sees him and like, it's going to be one of those, he's going to see, what are you doing? Like, I just want Lestat to smack him a la Cher. Snap out of it.
Louis going to be the one who seems a little pathetic when Lestat sees it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Dude, what are you doing? Because here's the deal. With Louis, he had lost his family, right? He lost his brother, had committed suicide. Yep. His mother had basically it was only his sister that still kind of cared for him, but he couldn't spend time with her. That was too weird. But she Claudia kind of became the replacement for that family that he did not have anymore.
She was his sister and his daughter kind of.
Yeah. Family.
Right.
So when she dies, now he's going to find another human to now to be Claudia now. So what happens when she has an untimely end? Are you going to find someone to replace her? Or Regina gets a replacement too? Like, dude, he really needs to deal with this stuff. I'm really unhappy. Louis is still so messed up.
Louis has a
super interview.
It's super pathetic. It's like a guy getting divorced and dating somebody who looks like his ex-wife.
Getting someone
like the same body type, the same hair color. It's just it's the same type,
like a
different person. Yes.
Yeah, it's the entire thing is very sad because there's this theme that's running throughout the episode, and that is being abandoned by a parent or being abandoned by a fledgling. And that parental child interaction.
I'm not so sure this isn't going to be like the flip of Lestat and his mom. I'm not so sure Louis isn't going to bring her in and make her, and the child is going to abandon him.
Yeah.
And that will be the flip of Lestat and his mom. Because we see she's pretty world weary. And in his mind, I think if his thought process is the only reason that Claudia went the way she did is we made her too young, because that's what she always said. I didn't get to live life. I didn't get to experience these things. If he thinks, here's Claudia, but now she's an adult. Yes, that now this is a woman who could live a full life, and and he may do that, and then she may be like, cool, man, I don't want to be your sister. See ya.
Yeah, bye.
He'll get bored too, to be honest. But he could set her up in a nice place. He had many properties, he said. So,
well, Louis and Armand can form like the vampire version of Depeche Mode and deal with all this like dark, toxic energy. And
from if all of this is kind of like filtered through Lestat, everybody's real sad. I'm gonna say right now that if this was really the reality of all the vampires, no wonder everybody wants to be like Lestat. He's messed up too.
Everything else is so dreary.
At least he's fun, right?
Yeah, he knows how to have a good time.
At least his
that
hair
guy.
looks good, you know?
Especially when he's flipping that ponytail
Right?
with his.
No, he was too cute in this, and he's doing such a good job.
Yeah,
I just
I
can't
do.
even imagine.
I do just. I just adore. I adore him. I adore Sam. I adore television
I can't
version of
see-
Lestat.
I can't see anybody else playing this character, honestly.
No, he has definitely taken the reins and owned this name. Definitely.
Yeah.
More so than a certain Thomas. did
Oh,
in the
100%.
past.
Yeah.
You know, there was a scene where he was seeing people, and there was a guy in the back, and I think it was somebody in a pub or something from a scene we've seen before. But he looked like he was like in period costume.
Was it the woman? Was it the man who'd come up to talk to his mom about being a veggie?
Maybe
Was it that man?
Maybe, but he was standing there and he was out of. And for a second, I thought it was Tom Cruise, and I'm like, I can't believe you got him to do that, but it was not. But just for one heartbeat, I'm like, oh my god! I paused and I
It
went
would
back.
really be funny if they did something on the show where he's like goes to see the movies or something. He walks out, he just saw a Top Gun, and he was like, you know, he doesn't say about movies.
I would really like it if like Lestat got one of those. You know, like he goes back to his loft or his tour bus or whatever, and like Tom has sent him one of those famous coconut cakes. You know.
Listen, I would still eat that coconut cake.
Oh yeah, who wouldn't?
I mean, unlike Louis and his hamburger, don't let it get cold and soggy.
Don't do it.
And while
Don't
he was
do it.
taking
They're
the
not
little
as
bite,
good.
all I was thinking was it tastes like paste. Because that's what
Now,
he said it tastes like.
I have a
human
question.
food doesn't
and
taste good.
I think I know the answer to this, but I need you all to tell me. That is the woman that played Claudia, isn't it? That's
Yes.
playing
Oh, yes.
Regina.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's obviously a little
Delaney.
older.
Right. Like,
Mhm.
Well, she was.
I thought so,
already
but I
older when
forgot
she
to
was
check the
playing younger,
credits.
yeah. No, that's her.
Yeah.
And
it's
she's really
great
good.
because it's almost her real accent. it's a spin on it. It's not entirely her own accent, but
that's what was so cool when she jumped into the New Orleans accent. It was her. It was her voice.
It was her. But that the East London accent,
mhm.
I'm gonna say that comes from her background too. Like she's known people with that accent growing up in the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
When they
Now,
start talking, they were
to
so
say-
cute. The little back and forth about like where he starts trying to guess where she's from. That was so cute, right?
I have to say that being able to see the two of those actors interact again, it was like it felt familiar and comfortable, but then there was just like this drag
but it's
right behind that feeling because you knew, like, you know,
well,
it's not
at that moment,
like it's not
at
these
that
two
moment.
characters.
She's like, oh, this guy comes in every night. He sits there. He doesn't really do much, but he leaves me a big tip. So, and he's there with his iPad and stuff. So he could just be working.
Also,
writing.
he's
doing a lot of stuff.
real cute.
He's real
Dresses
cute,
real cool.
but he's gay. So don't go there.
Yep.
So you know, she was thinking like, if you work in a place like that and you start having regulars that are decent and tip you well, you're gonna start to like.
Oh, you
quip a little
as
bit.
Somebody who was a restaurant manager for a while, you definitely start to form a relationship
where are you
with
from?
your
Where are you
regulars.
from?
You
Like,
know who their family is. You know when they're going on vacation.
So she probably
You know
just
all
thought
the
it's like
things.
that, like cool to have a good regular that tips you well, you know, because he leaves
But
her
I thought
$500.
I thought
and then
as
he
an
leaves her $1,000.
actor, she did a great job of bringing a real different energy to that character. When after she reads the book and comes in, and then is like different towards him.
She kept saying mental,
cold,
like cold, like I thought that was really great.
Yeah,
well, and it's like she was guarded. It's the guards went up, right? Because she's been around the block of hard knocks. Like you know all the things that we're hearing. She doesn't want to suffer a fool.
Well, she more or less says like, "What's your game here? Like
Right.
You're playing mind games with me to give me this
Something's not
book and
right.
tell me to read it. Like, what's the end game here?
Mhm.
And I like that she calls him on it, and she's done her research, so we know she's smart. That's how she knows, you know, he's wealthy and all that. Like, I really like that energy, and it was super creepy that she's like, "Okay, Daddy," like
Daddy Lou.
Yeah, Daddy Lou. Like that was super creepy. Like at the end, Kudos
a
to
lot
the
of
actor.
feelings.
I hope
Lots
that
of feelings there.
Delaney Hales is her name. I hope that she has a good run on the show and that nothing bad happens to her, because I will be very disappointed in Lestat.
Well-
when Louis, for letting another person get
Yeah.
hurt because he just can't deal with his.
In the after show, they more or less said she has a big role.
Yeah.
That her character does something significant.
Yeah, and then they had to blur it out because she
Right,
dropped
because
a
she
spoiler.
spoiled a bunch of stuff for next week.
Well, when we meet, so she meets someone. I'm really excited. I'm wondering if perhaps because there's some characters that will start to be significant as this starts to roll out, right? And I'm wondering if one of those characters, they're gonna swap them out for her. Like because maybe.
That's what I'm wondering too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's
And
gonna get
there's
to
a
have
couple that would
that action.
kind of maybe I could see.
But if that's the case, they'll
Okay,
have to turn
well,
her. So that's my prediction.
I think
she's gonna get
that
turned.
there's no question. I feel like if I were to tally the vote right now, I feel like everyone here believes that she's gonna get turned, right? Like
She's gonna get turned, but her eyes are not gonna be Claudia eyes. I want her eyes to be different when she's turned, because people can look very similar, but there's always something a little different. So she shouldn't have those bright orange that Claudia had, right?
Yeah.
I hope
like
they're a little
let's
different.
spin on that. Like, what is this? That's the tell for Lestat when he he sees her, but she has these different eyes. Like that's mind.
Good reveal. That'd be a good reveal.
Yeah.
And see, it's not like this is not like Kyber crystals. It's not like every single vampire has a different colored eyes. The eyes mean nothing. It's just an enhancement of your own natural eyes. So maybe they could be like a not so orange, but maybe I don't know. I hope she. I just don't want her to look exactly like Claudia, because that's going to be too much.
Right.
Okay, here's my crackpot theory. That I will absolutely riot if this happens. Okay.
Okay.
Like
my crackpot theory is somehow
you do not want.
Oh,
that I do not want.
They better.
But here's
not
a
be.
crazy thing. Louis and her start hanging out, and Lestat comes back into Louis's orbit, and Gabriella sees like the effect it's having on Lestat, and Gabriella is the one that turns her from human to vampire.
Interesting.
That would be good, because then she could still talk to Louis. We know Louis doesn't like to turn people.
But what if she meets Gabrielle and is like, "Oh my God, I love your feminism. Let's go, girl. I'm out."
She looks at her, she's like, "Sis, let's go.
We're out."
That's right.
Well, Lestat could turn her on a spite too,
or
jealousy.
What if she is turned,
dude?
And she has the relationship. What if she has the Claudia relationship, but with Lestat and not with Louis? What if Louis ends up being the Lestat in this situation where he's not the favorite? What if she's all like, "Oh my God, I love this Lestat guy. He is so ballin'." And then she's like, "Louis, stop being such a whiner. Like, I'm gonna go hang out with the cool guy."
Right. I have his stuff on vinyl, man.
Like, I am the biggest fan.
Oh my God, Louis! You know the Vampire Lestat band? Oh wow!
He has all the drugs. One other thing I wanted to point out that I just remembered. Do you remember when Lestat first goes upstairs and he starts talking to Daniel upstairs, and Farid? I just remember his name. Dr. Farid is upstairs, and he's taking quite a bit of Lestat's blood. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
And I'm like, they've talked about these pick-me-ups that he gives them. He gives the different, because Lestat gets one that with the transfusion. Is he keeping their blood so that he can give it back to him if he needs to? Is it?
I kind of feel like if we go back to a certain episode of, if we go back to a certain episode of Talamasca, I immediately thought of that.
Well, there's that too, but I don't think Farid is with Talamasca. Maybe.
No.
See?
Maybe.
But I was just clocking that.
Let's...
And Lestat was letting him take it. Lestat wasn't like, So Lestat must
Let's-
know he needs it for something.
Let's say
Very weird.
because
Well, we know he
let's
decants
say-
a bottle of it.
Well, yes. But
right.
yeah. I think Freed's taken more than
But-
the bottle, though.
But again, that's what I mean. Like, let's just say that, okay, the purpose isn't just for Lestat. Like this, when I saw that, I felt like it was there was talamascaing happening there. And I feel like after we're at the end of this series, there's going to be different things that we might go back and watch, and maybe we see some familiar faces in crowds.
Those little clues will make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I
We're gonna-
wondered if like he had it in case something happened, because then when the shooting happens, I thought, oh, take some of Lestat's blood and rub it on Christine. You're not ingesting, you're not drained to the point of death. So all it would do would be like heal you, give you a little.
Perhaps that's what they did. Okay. Anyway, feedback. If anybody who's listening has any thoughts, opinions, things that they would like to add, questions, critiques, whatevs.
What do you think is going to happen? What do you want to happen?
Just send us your feedback. Listen, I know people don't love to email these days, but just for fun's sake, let's say you do. You can email us at tallythefeedback@yahoo.com. And you found us here, but you can also find us anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. We are at the Jay and Jack Whole Enchilada feed. And speaking of Jay and Jack, we would like to do a little shout out to the Patreons who contribute at a certain level. And they would be Eckhart Rickner, Joanne with the Plan, Maggie the Magnificent, and at the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. If you too would like to become a Patreon and get all of the extras from Tally the Votes, the Broadcast Survivor with JCC, and the Ramblecast and more, then go to patreon.com/Jay and Jack. And if you are still here hanging out with us, we'd really appreciate if you would hit like and subscribe. It allows us to continue to make content that we want to make and that you would like to see. Okay, and speaking of content, all right, if reality television is your cup of tea, well, this gang is going to be here in about a week. We are dropping the premiere episode of Big Brother, which airs July 7th. We normally record on Thursday nights, and we're assuming that we'll probably be recording on Thursday nights again this year, as it is the night of the eviction, and we record immediately following. So tune in if that's something you enjoy. Okay. Final thoughts, everybody. Final thoughts on this week's episode.
I can't believe we are more than halfway through the season. We have 3 episodes to go. I cannot believe it. It's so great.
They've got 5 shows. Well, he had 5 shows. He doesn't now.
And then he did one. We got 4 shows
3
left, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, David and Brian?
Well, we're going to New York next week,
We are.
so that should be interesting.
Well, they're all technically in New York, but they'll be in New York City. They're in Albany. They're making their way down. And so, New York City. That's going to be, I bet you something happens
New
there.
York City.
Maybe. You think so? Some things might happen there?
I think so.
I mean,
as I said before, this is my second favorite episode of the season. I really enjoyed it.
I have not watched it twice yet, but I do plan on going back.
Well, there's a little bit of forward momentum of like the great conversion. The characters are, seeing Armand and Daniel have their moment. I fleshed that out, seeing more of the backstory of Lestat and his mom. I thought this had the ingredients were more proportional than in the previous week, and so I like this episode quite a bit. And then we have this manifesto weirdo, with the shooting that's going to propel stuff. So.
You got to figure he's going to have a lot of friends, going forward, right? There's going to be lots of manifesto weirdos.
Yeah, but they got to be careful. Louis will go burn their house down. Just needs another address.
But he won't turn them.
No, he won't.
If you're a human, just get. That's what he does.
Get on out.
Okay, guys. Well, then that's a wrap for this week. We're going to see you next Monday when we pull up to episode 5 in New York. And until then, I will see you later, my fluffy little fuck cloud.